Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between LiquidNazgul and Orly here on Steps of War. We have Orly spawning on the bottom left hand side as the blue Zerg player, what I'll call the 7 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have LiquidNazgul spawning as the red Protoss player over here on the top right hand side. So it is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg matchup. Now, Steps of War, if you guys have seen some of these games, is a very small map. And especially with the caliber of players here from the ESL, I'm expecting a lot of high action, a lot of tier 1 and tier 2 units, not very much to tier 3. It really depends on if any of the units are in fact going to try to do any fast expansions or do anything of that nature. LiquidNazgul dropping a pylon over here on this front door. A little bit of a curious position as a lot of Protoss players try to at least get that pylon in order to be able to build multiple buildings. It doesn't look like he's really going to be able to build that many buildings. Also, is he going to be going for, going for a 10 gateway. So that means that he is in fact not getting any probes from this Nexus at that time, or at least delaying that probe for just a little bit. Taking a look over here, gateway now being warped in, and we'll see how this is going to be used. Is there going to be a very narrow choke point trying to get into that position, and it will LiquidNazgul try to use sentries in order to block it off with force field? And will Orly only go Zerglings, or perhaps will he also go some roaches for that range attack? So a lot of unknowns at this stage in the game. LiquidNazgul quickly doing a check around, not noticing any gas yet. Taking a look, no queen being produced as that spawning pool is not yet done. Taking a look over here, we have a drone now just moving back and forth. Pylon now being warped in as this gateway is going to be completed. So gateway going to be completed. Zealot now warping in as well, using that chrono boost to get that first Zealot out. So that Zealot going to be coming out rather quickly as the Nexus is not using that chrono boost. So LiquidNazgul perhaps going for a very early game build. Taking a look at the drones right now, we're currently sitting on 14 drones, or sorry, 14 probes, 14 workers, as that Zealot now moves out. So one single Zealot moving out, heading across the ramp, most likely going to run into a queen and a couple Zerglings. Taking a look at the production count right now, we have 6 Zerglings and a queen being produced by Orly. So Orly going to be able to really just push back that poor Zealot. That Zealot's going to get torn apart if he doesn't have any friends or at least some weapons upgrade. Drone now coming in. That drone now taking what, down to 19 damage. One more hit from that probe and that Zealot should be able to take it down. But a large number of Zerglings now coming in, and that drone able to set up that all-important hatchery. So nice fast expansion coming in. LiquidNazgul trying to come in with those probes, trying to deal some damage towards those units. Very nice micro from Orly. We'll see how this really works out. One single Zergling coming back, gonna go ahead and hop back onto that queen. That queen, however, moving fairly slowly. Gonna go ahead and get a surround on all these units, and these Zealots and that probe gonna have a very short life as they get taken down. So those Zerglings quickly taking down those units. Taking a look at the army, LiquidNazgul down to a 200 mineral army compared to Orly's 350. Hatchery nowhere near being completed. However, we have more Zealots now trying to gather up and around the center of the map. Overlord trying to do some scouting, and those Zerglings will be able to quickly get a surround on those Zealots if those Zealots are not in fact careful. Taking a look back over here, only a single gateway. Cybernetics core finally down. We'll see if we see a robotics bay. Robotics bay going to be a very important building. Oh, very nice choke point with LiquidNazgul. LiquidNazgul using those 2 Zealots, blocking up that choke. Those Zerglings will not in fact be able to get a true surround. Overlord, however, is on this high ground, offering at least sight. Taking a look, we have now a gateway, or the warp gate research now being researched, but with only a single gateway. That almost seems like a waste. Yeah, there we go. Secondary gateway, perhaps a triple gateway. Tech trying to be built. Taking a look, now another robotics facility being put down, or sorry, a single robotics facility being put down, most likely for that observer and eventually some immortals. Taking a look back at the main base over here, we do in fact have Roach Warren in play, so roaches are going to be infesting or swarming this whole entire map on Steps of War momentarily. Taking a look, no roaches yet. We do have a sentry now being warped in, and that warp gate research being used, robotics facility and 2 gateways being warped in. So in fact going for triple gateway. The warp gate research is nearly completed. Zealot going after that poor Zergling. Zergling now able to run back away. A non-upgraded Zealot will take what, 3 swipes in order to take it down. Upgraded level 1-0 will take 2 swipes as long as there is not any additional not any additional armors on those Zerglings. Stalker now being warped in as well. So a single Stalker going to be fairly decent counter towards those roaches if we do in fact have some roaches. Currently 2 roaches being produced and 3 roaches around the field. Creep Tumor now being used by Orly. So Creep Tumor going to increase the speed of these Zerglings and these roaches. One thing that I do not see enough Zerg players use. Orly now trying to move out with that Creep Tumor. That Creep Tumor, however, is able to spawn another Creep Tumor, but it's not going to be able to extend that creep nearly fast enough to where it really wants to go. It takes some time to get that creep over to here and then finally drop down another one. We in fact have an observer up in the air, observer trying to do some scouting, roaches trying to move around, and a fairly large size army currently sitting with 2 sentries, a single immortal, a second immortal now being produced. And taking a look at these roaches perhaps going to this Zelnaga watchtower, make sure no mining of these high yield minerals before it heads back out. Single Zergling on this choke point. So that single Zergling now going to try to run in, make sure that there is in fact no nexus. Taking a look at the income of Orly is significantly higher at 1,000 versus 700. Taking a look, yeah, we do in fact have double gas over here. So double gas, so yeah, LiquidNazgul definitely a little bit behind in terms of the economic play. We'll see if he will be able to win this game with tech, as those immortals are going to be fairly strong. Also quadruple gateway, so 4 gateways currently up and running. We'll see how that cooldown is going to be used. So we have what, 3 sentries, a couple immortals, more gateways, as more zealots now being warped in, and a single stalker as well. So, but no weapons upgrade yet. Taking a look at the unit count, there it is. Zergling quickly getting taken out. We're going to have a little bit of a flank here. That's going to be really, really bad positioning. We'll see. No, we have LiquidNazgul already coming up and quickly seeing that those roaches are there. What, did he shoot down his own? He shot down his own stalker right there. That was definitely a misplay. LiquidNazgul probably going to drop a pylon in the middle of the field in order to be able to bring in reinforcements. Trying to shoot down those units, getting a force field down. Nicely done by LiquidNazgul. LiquidNazgul taking down the rest of that army. Nice, more force fields being used. And this unit of Orly just losing a lot of those units here in this positioning. One of those roaches or one of those immortals going to get focused down, but more force field being used and just constantly pushing those units around. Those roaches are unable to get within that 3 range in order to take down these units, and Orly taking a lot of heavy hits as more sentries and more zealots coming in. Going to quickly take down these creep tumors. So the creep tumors taken down, and it looks as though no upgrade on those zealot charges yet. Taking a look, more force fields coming into play and more units trying to come in. Yeah, nice focus fire by LiquidNazgul using those sentries. Very nicely done, and LiquidNazgul is going to easily take this game using very, very nice use of force field, continuing this fight. More force field is going to probably, blocking up that choke point, and Orly says GG and leaves. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay between Orly and LiquidNazgul here on Steps of War.